Devin Baca, and
I'm Jasmine Reese.
and this is our presentation on water efficiency for Bear Creek High School. And we're going to get started. So, you're first asking, big question is, why is water conservation so important? And one of the big things was conserving water could kind of like, it would lower the spending costs at the school. And also, by conserving water, we're helping protect the environment. And water conservation is just like using water properly and caring for it. And then this was a picture that kind of had a meaning to me because it showed like all the Earth's water in one clump kind of. And when you look at it, it's really not that much at all. It's a very small amount, and that's all Earth's water, including salt water in the ocean. So that's not even water that we could actually consume. And here that's where right here is the liquid fresh water. So that's water that we can actually consume, and that's even a very smaller amount. And then I don't know if you can see it really, but right here is a very small dot of all the water that comes from our lakes and rivers. And when you really look at it, it's really not a lot. So I think that's why it was very important to conserve water and to kind of save it. And then pass it on to my friend Jared.
Hello everyone, my name is Jared Rogers, I'm a student here also. This here is our mission for Bear Creek High School. We want to reduce the amount of water that we use as a school. We would like to do this to save money at our school, and I'll show you some of the figures about our consumption and our prices later on. But how we're going to do this is we plan on installing new and more efficient systems that we can use for Bear Creek High School. Our Denver's water cycle, the water that we get from Denver is mostly coming from mountain runoff, and once it comes from there, it goes into the system of the city, and that is recycled, and so most of the water that we use here is from recycled water. Let my friends over here.
Good evening, guys. My name is Daniel Federico. All right, and
I'm Melanie Rivas.
And I'm Max Damon.
all right. So basically, with both of these graphs, we'd like to show you guys on the total water consumption between the years of 2009 to 2014. In the years of 2009 and 2010, the first thing you guys can notice is that between the months of May through September, Bear Creek uses most of its water, mainly due to the fact that it's hot weather outside. But as my last friend said, Jared, we're trying to like kind of slice that kind of in half, if you will, like trying to stop it from using that much water. Do you next? Alright, so these are just more graphs of the years. As you can see, most of them all share the similar presentations of like total water consumption in all years. So you have another.
Okay, so this is from 2010 through 2011. So it shows like how much we use from April to September and to December, sorry, and how it's kind of like lowering, but we're still like on.
And again, as you can see, we have been better about our water usage between the months of April and September, but the cost is still going really high. And again, it's probably due to the weather and considering how everybody seems to be using water during the summer. prices go up because it's in demand.
Welcome back.
Hello again, and like I was saying earlier, these figures were figures that we had calculated by the amount that we use. We had taken it down to kilogallons since it was a little easier on the eyes to read. And also, so we have the monthly cost and the annual cost divided by these gallons and their basic price. So as you can see, a average unit price is $4.77 per kilogallon in US dollars. And we monthly consume about 644 kilogallons, and annually 7,728 kilogallons. And annual cost is, this is the average that we had calculated at 36,874.48 in US dollar figures. If I can invite my friend Shane up here.
Shane, Lewis. And what we have here is a graph of how the water is being used throughout the school and different things. I don't know if you guys can read them. Can you see them from here? Okay. Right here, if you want to jump in.
Yes. Okay, these are basically all of what's showing what consumes how much and the percentage that they do. So this is toilets in the blue at 20.9%. This here is urinals at 6.7%. These here at faucets are at 51.5%. These here, fountains at 11.1%. The eye wash, these are like connected to the showers for science rooms. That's also connected to showers, but there are also showers in the gym rooms, the locker rooms, and those are demonstrated here. And here we have the clothes washers, which is a very, very small one. It's barely a sliver right there. And this is everything that we use, but we took it down to the 4 biggest ones that are used daily.
Okay, and this is how we found how the water is being used throughout the school. It's a little bit different for each appliance, I guess you'd say. For our sinks, you would start your water flow into a bucket that we had a predetermined mark at, and we'd start timing it, and then once it hit it, we would stop and then see how many seconds it took to fill up the bucket to the predetermined line we had. Toilets, a little bit different. We'd flush it and count the seconds till the bowl emptied and then till it started filling up. And then you would divide it by 2.
The average is divided by 2.
Urinals are pretty much the same as a toilet. Flush it, bowl drain, but this time you're dividing it by 5.
It's bigger even.
Yeah. Showers, once again, it's pretty repetitive. Put your bucket, let it fill up to the line, and then count the seconds, and determine the gallon.
And this here is a demonstration of like where the consumption takes place. See, the South Wall, for example, has a very high toilet flow rate, urinal flow rate, and faucet flow rating. And we think that that's because it's part of the older school, and so its systems have been even less updated than the ones in all these other halls, for example, Northwest, and boys' locker rooms, girls' locker rooms.
The automatic turn off either on the faucets.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we did here is we came up with a survey, and we surveyed teachers and students, and altogether it was 70 people. So what we had them survey was how much do you use a water fountain per day, a toilet, a urinal, how many times they wash their hands, and then the use of science classrooms. So the average was like once to twice, and then washing hands was the most, was 4 times a day.
And these are some of the little chart graphs that we have developed for the survey that we took. And just shows it's kind of the same thing with the percent to it. most water use was from people washing their hands, which makes sense because people wash their hands more daily. And then this was another way to kind of show it from another kind of graph to show it. So yeah, and it just shows it again for the faucets for the most.
My name is Hunter Trujillo. I'm Adam Beckman.
I'm John Kyson.
We were in charge of the school irrigation, which is pretty much all of the water that we use outside of the sprinkler system mainly. So we measured all the sprinklers in every part of like every field, like the softball field, the baseball, everywhere. We actually got a map of the entire layout of our irrigation system from our manager for the facilities here. So we noticed that there's a lot of unnecessary sprinklers in places. Like, for example, there's some that are watering like way too much in areas, and it's literally just drowning the areas. So, but mainly our big ones were, as you can see, this huge one is the front of the school was a really big hit for how much irrigation's out there, for how little it really truly needs compared to the really large fields. So basically, we decided to come up with some ideas that could help. Here's a pretty good one right here. If we have automatic sprinkler systems, it can measure like the moisture, so it wouldn't use as much water. So as we use the water, it will stop when we get at the perfect level of moisture. And then we also came up with like Exoscape or whatever. We got that off of Denver Water's website. So here's a couple of the methods. Method one is basic planning. Basically, we take like a picture of our grounds and then we put it into like a little 1x8, 1x10 block system. And then we pretty much create like a diagram of where we can put like the sprinklers that really need to go where they need to go, and don't put them in like very unnecessary places. Method two is soil improvements. So we read up as well on the website that there are certain plants that help maintain a healthier soil. For example, non-native plants to Colorado. A lot of these plants suck up way more water than needed. Like they're terrible, like how much water they take. So if we kept it all to one, like especially with the grass, there's like we have different types of grass in our field because of how much it's been patched. So if we like got a really solid like just plant life out there, just like with just like one type of shrub, one type of grass, one type of tree, it really helped maintain the water consumption these plants are taking to grow and survive. Okay, so with the efficient irrigation, basically we get like proper lines underneath and proper sprinkler systems to go in, so we don't use too much water. Our next method would be plants. Okay, so we have really different areas of landscape here at the school. Some are exposed to more light than others, and some are exposed to more water than others. So we need to find a way to help maintain these plants and equalize them, so that, and then pretty much like put higher amounts of water in where it's needed, and then put the lower amounts of water where it's needed. For example, like shaded plants would probably need a little more water, or a little less water, because they're not going to be able to evaporate the water as fast because they're not in the sun like the shaded plants are. Or I mean the sun plants, my bad. So pretty much help maintain a better plant zone, because our plant zones are not very maintainable from the water they're consuming. Okay, and method 5 I kind of go with. I mean, it'd be a good method, but I think our other ones are better. But anyways, mulch would help with like, I think the front of the school mainly, not like the whole outlet. Because what a mulch does, it pretty much like helps maintain a healthier soil. It keeps the soil nice and damp so it can hold water for a longer time. Also, it decomposes eventually. And so, I mean, that helps with keeping a nice, healthy soil, but then also eventually we'll have to replace it and keep doing it. I mean, I like the idea, but I just don't think it'd be the best. I mean, it'd be good for like maybe like shrubs and stuff, but not like the whole entire layout. Like I'd say mainly like around the garden of the school, like where our water tree, like small trees and plants are, to help maintain that water. But
Alright, method 6, like turf alternatives. So like you look at our football field, that's a turf field. We could also do like the track and field out there, that's just plain grass. If we make that a turf alternative, that's just less grass that we have to water, which will decrease the water bill just a little bit. What about the baseball fields also? I don't know exactly the price of turf, but I feel like it would definitely help with lowering the cost of using our water.
we also thought like it would be expensive to get turf, but in the long run, it's like obviously turf doesn't need water, so it's like it'd look nice always. You know, it wouldn't turn color. I mean, it'd probably be a really big expensive project, but I think it'd be one of our big options to really help conserve water with the outside of our school if we made turf. But
With our questions, we said like when we're outside looking for the sprinklers, we're like, why is there so many sprinklers with no grasses? Like it's all dead and everything. And then like some of the parts of the school, like this is a big, huge landscape, and like where people like there's like sprinklers like where people don't like go like to like walk or something. And then when we were like by the fence line, there was every sprinkler like. Why is there so many sprinklers around the fence? There's like one by every like 3 feet, like there's one right there. And then like how many gallons does the sprinklers go while they're watering, and then how long do the sprinklers go to water like the grass, like the time, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to water?
And with this, we'd like to have Jay to come up. So we made posters in the school for like people to not like waste so much water. So like here's some of our smaller posters.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to educate, like, you guys are in here, but not everyone in the school is able to. So we want them to know that, you know, we don't want to waste all this water, you know, and want to just keep them aware of the stuff that's going on.
and the approach we took at it, we thought was a very unique approach. Okay, I mean, obviously we used cute little animals. I mean,
Catches your eye.
we were thinking to use water, but we're thinking like eye catchers. You know, it's like if people see it, like an animal on there, they're gonna want to at least read it and see what it's about. I mean, it's a really good way to really get your attention. I mean, it got classmates' attention. Our water ones are nice too, but pretty much it's supposed to catch your eye so you actually read it, not just walk by it in the hall.
Skip the ball. Here's the, here. Okay. And then we're not completely done with our large poster, but we have made a couple.
I don't know, you want me to butt in real quick for you? Since that's not pulling up, our
No,
larger
not-
poster
not sure.
is more of an information area, you know, these little small ones, you know, you're washing your hands, you're looking around and stuff like that, you get, pull some little information. This one will be in the hallways, I don't know how many, maybe a couple of them. But those are the ones you're really going to stop and look at, you know, and read if you have the time.
Yeah, like our big one has a really big picture, but then really the little ones are what people are going to read, because especially when you walk in the hall and you're on the way to class, you're not going to want to read a big old paragraph. You're just going to want to get to the point. There's a kid on it.
Hi, I'm Raquel Rivera. And I'm Jamie Chavez. So recommendations to reduce water consumption at Bear Creek High School. So we came up with a couple. Turn off faucets completely when finished. Don't clog any drains or sinks. A lot of kids have tendencies to put paper and stuff that clog the drains and that, so then the water's not draining. Don't flush the toilets multiple times. Don't kick off the tops of the sprinklers. When brushing your teeth, you can turn off the sink. Don't turn on your shower until you get shower water until you get in, and purchase low flow aerators so less water comes out of the sinks.
Also fix like the little sensors, because some toilets, they flush and flush just if they sense you moving, like, just a waste of water. And then here,
So this is conservation and sustainability for faucet. We have 237 faucets.
so the way that I got this number right here is I did my faucets times the 1.39, which was the average gallon per minute. And then so I got 329.43 gallons per minute. Then I converted it into kgal, so I divided it by 1,000. And then here is what we're spending right now. So in the 2013, for Jared's little slide, it showed the average cost per kgal was $4.77. So I times that by 0.329, which is what I got from my kgal, which I got $1.57 kgal per minute, and that's our current spending. And this is going by minutes, so that adds up. And then here, this is just showing how aerators is a good, effective way to save water, and it saves 0.5 gallons per minute, and the cost is roughly between $1 to $3. So I just rounded it to 250. So right here, you do, since earlier I got my average gallon, which was 1.39, I times that by, or I minused it by 0.5 for my aerator, which I got 0.89 gallons per minute, so then I converted that into kgals, which then I got 0.0089 kgal. And then I grabbed my 477, times it by my kgal, times the amount of faucets, which was 237, and then I got $1.01, which basically we save 56 cents every minute. And then right here, this is the cost of the aerators, 7,250 times 237 faucets, which would then equal $592.50, and that would be the cost to install the aerators, well, to buy them for each faucet. But in the long run, it'll end up being an investment instead of spending.
The next one would be showers, and we have 226 showers.
All right, and I did the same math here. So I did 26 by 1.13 because that was the average for showers, gallon per minute. And then I got 29.38, and I converted it into kgal, which was then 0.029. Then I grabbed the cost, which was 477 times 0.029, which was only 13 cents kgal per minute. So it's not awful, but that still adds up too. And then I grabbed the aerators, which was 0.5 gallons, which again cost $2.50. And then I grabbed my average, which was 1.13, minus 0.5, which I got 0.63 gallons per minute. I converted that to kgal, got 0.0063. Then I grabbed my price again, 477, times my kgal, times the amount of showers, which was 26, and I got 7 cents. So significant difference, I think. And then I did $2.50, which was my aerator price, times the 26 showers that we had, I got $65. And then so then it would be only $65 to buy aerators for showers. Okay. And then the conservation and sustainability for toilet and urinal systems. For toilets, we're looking at 269.76 gallons per flush, and then I converted that into a kgal, which was just 0.269. I grabbed my price from earlier, which is 4.77, times the 0.269, which I got $1.28 per kgal per flush. And we didn't get to find a saver for this one yet because for toilets and urinals, it's a little bit different. And then for urinals, I got 107.57, and I did the same math here. And then I converted that to kgal, which I got 1.107, grabbed the price, times the 1.107, and these are the prices that we're currently spending per flush, per kgal.
And then to determine if a piston valve needs to be replaced is determined on how long it takes to complete a flush cycle. Properly functioning flush should take no longer than 4 seconds to complete. So when you flush a toilet, it shouldn't really take more than 4 seconds for it to go all the way through its cycle, and in order for it to flush and then come back up into the bowl to be used again.
And I'm going to hand over the time to Tim.
I'm Tim.
And then here at Bear Creek, most of the toilets were going over than 4 seconds. So then, if we were to determine if it's the piston valve or not, and then spend money on replacing the toilets, we could save money in the long run, so it doesn't continue to take as much time. And then, if we were to do that, it would save us money so that it would save us water and money because it wouldn't take as much time to fill. So, and then it's basically the same thing with urinals. If we were to replace it with an HEU urinal, which is a high efficiency urinal, it could save money also because it sustains more water than the other urinals that we're using now. And then with the water fountains, if we were to get one of these LK water fountains, it would save us more money and it'd be more efficient. So with these water fountains, you can fill up your water bottle and it has a sensor to determine how much it needs to fill up. So that way if students are trying to fill up the water bottle, they won't miss the water bottle and waste water or leave it running. It'll determine when it needs to stop. And then also, with how much money it costs to replace everything, it would save money because it's newer and it's more efficient than the old ones. The cost for them is double than the older ones, but this Neil Erickson was a director of faculties for a college, and he said that they're worth more money in the long run because of how much it costs adding up to keep repairing it or fixing it. And then if it just keeps becoming too much to maintain, to keep replacing, if we got the new ones, even though it costs double, in the long run, it'd save us a lot more money and water here at Bear Creek.
With public education, we focused on the school, but we also focused at home for them to also save money with water. We just came up with a couple ideas just for them to conserve their water usage.
Pretty much all of our ideas are pretty simple, like shut off the water by brushing your teeth, take shorter showers, don't leave stuff running, don't use more water than it's it's all the basic stuff, but it's it'd be a simple, easier way to help educate our school as well as our community and water conservation altogether, just how the little things could really have a big impact.
So what we're saying, these are just, like I said, small things that, take a couple seconds, a couple minutes off of your water usage, and it could help us save a little bit more water and money at the same time.
Okay, so back to about presenting it to the school and to our community. This is, here we have this this TV channel called BCTN, and that airs every day that we have blocks and every day that we're all together in classrooms. So what we're planning on doing is getting together and putting this on there. We've already asked and got clearance from from the director of this BCTN channel, and he's given us a 90-second time window each time to do something. And we were thinking about things, say, like, for example, a Water Wednesday program to help keep people, like, give them updates and like, review on their basic knowledge of how to conserve water.
And here's a brief example of it.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jared Woodruff. And my name is Max David. And we represent the Advanced Process Type 2 class of Bear Creek High School. There's a problem that we'd like to bring to your attention. It's about our water consumption.
Currently, Bear Creek uses 7,728,000 gallons annually. That is 644,000 gallons a month.
And that is over $36,000 a year. That's a lot. And so we've calculated with our figures some things that you could buy with that $36,000.
You could buy 10,851.8 gallons of gas at $3.39.
You could buy 4,000
and 2/3 of Sea-Doo's recreational jet skis. What you want to do with that 2/3 of jet ski? We don't know. We don't care.
You could buy 1,392 rubber uniform masks for tradesmen.
And you could also buy a brand new 2014 Ford F-150.
Here are some of the things that you can do as a Bear Creek High School student to downsize our water consumption. Don't clog sinks. Only flush once. If you see faucets running, turn them off. And for the last time, stop kicking the tops off of sprinklers. Thank you for your consideration, Bear Creek.
Have a great day, guys.
So this is just a basic thing that we'd be doing every week to try to keep people updated on how our water consumption is going, and like giving basic tips and references to how to conserve a little better.
Okay, so what we're gonna do next is that we'll make up our recommendations, track monthly water, and make adjustments to our data that we put together. So is there any questions?
So that's
Questions for the
pretty
group?
much it. Are there any questions you guys have?
From all of us, I'd just like to say thank you for your time. Thank you for listening and considering all of our ideas here. This I think will be in the long run a really great project. Saves a lot of time and money.